Alright boys, we're going to look at this Deus 2 with a 9-inch coil. Now this is the smallest coil available for this machine. If I had a smaller one I would show it, okay? We're going to look at the Manticore with the M8 coil. Let me turn this camera off briefly. Alright, got the camera back on. Beach sensitive. We've got a real small piece of foil here. Mr. Dankowski has made some statements about this Manticore and his M8 coil that he's finding some of the smallest stuff in wet salt sand he's ever found in his life, okay? Now, I'm not on a salt beach, but how do these two detectors run in what you would run in the wet salt sand? How do they compare on that? Small piece of Reynolds wrap foil, beach sensitive. Speed 1.5, salt sensitivity is 7. Alright. And we'll turn it to pitch tones. I'll even jack up the pitch tones. And I've got the audio response at 7. I've noise canceled this machine 2 or 3 times. I hear it messing around. I'm over that foil. You hear anything? Nothing. How about over here? You don't hear anything. Is the machine working? Yeah, it's working. Okay, so we don't hear anything there, do we? Let's see what the sensitivity's at. 95. Pitch tones. Speed 1.5. Hovering over that. I don't hear anything at all. That is beach sensitive. Version 2.0.0. Okay? We'll turn this machine off. Now, I think Mr. Dankowski has made some comments. You may be able to run the sensitivity on the wet salt sand higher with this coil. Beach low conductor, speed 4. It's got stock upper Ferris limits in it. Depth audio theme multi IQ plus. I'm at a 23 sensitivity. Let's see what happens. You hear that? So we get signal on that, don't we? How about over here? So we're getting signal on that little foil there. So is this connected, you know? What this is doing here, is it related in some fashion to what NASA Tom is seeing on the wet salt sand on some small items, earring backs, possibly, I guess, even some gold chains. You know, in the off-season, boys, you might want to play with this coil out on the beach more than the stock coil, just for that reason. Maybe most of the gold rings have been gobbled up. You hear that? That's small, boys. Now, this is a wet salt sand program. Now, remember that. I'm sure if I go to all-terrain low conductors, I would get better performance there, probably, okay? But that's not what this video is about. Now, that ain't the strongest signal on that, but it's giving signal unlike that coil and that detector. Okay, now that's 23 sensitivity. Does it do anything at 21 sensitivity? I hear it a little bit. I hear it right there too. Maybe you can hear that in that camera. I'm pretty sure you can run this machine every bit that hot on wet salt sand with this coil being small. Mr. Dankowski made comments that a 9-inch coil prototype is floating out there evidently on the Manticore on his site. Now that's what he said. And evidently he had used it on a salt beach and he was able to run the sensitivity higher on that 9-inch coil. So I would assume you can run the sensitivity, I don't know, 25 on a wet soft sand with this coil maybe. I've got some aircraft up here, but I've looked at these, you know. I'm not pulling anybody's leg. You hear that? So we'll see what happens, you know. I wish he had a camera and he could show us some video. I'd like to see this coil on a wet soft sand, snagging that small stuff. I hope you enjoy.